chance conversation with a friend about insurance schemes which were ahead of their time and hence didn't see an uptake till many years later got me thinking about the nature of innovation and how to innovate. Welcome back to my Thursday video series where I share examples for you to use at work to make your messaging sticky. Many of us would have seen high jump, at least on television. The high jump is a track and field event in which a participant runs towards a raised bar and attempts to leap over it without touching the bar. Throughout history, high jumpers have used a few traditional techniques like the scissors or the straddle to clear the bar by leaping forward or sideways over it. But all that would change when an Oregon State University high jumper named Dick Fosbury came into the scene. His progress had stagnated using the traditional jumping methods, so he started experimenting with new ways of clearing the bar. In particular, he challenged the conventional method of a forward or a sideways approach, and he instead developed an angled approach that culminated in him arching his back as he went over the bar backward. Fosbury was widely ridiculed for this technique. Some remarked that it looked like an airborne seizure or like a fish flopping in a boat. But at the 1968 Olympics, Dick Fosbury used the technique and won the gold medal and set a new Olympic record. Within a few years, the Fosbury flop, as it became known, was a standard in the sport, and it remains so today, even over more than 50 years later. So what happened there? Many elite jumpers at that time used the straddle method or something called as the western roll or the eastern cutoff or the scissors jump to clear the bar. Though the backwards flop technique had been there for years before Fosbury started it, landing surfaces were sandpits or low piles of matting, and high jumpers would have had to land on their feet or at least land very carefully to prevent injury. With the advent of deep foam matting, high jumpers were now able to be more adventurous in their landing styles, and hence they could become more experimental with their jumping styles. So two things stand out for me. The first, a new idea finds its time when it's backed by the infrastructure to support it. Secondly, true innovation is often met with ridicule. Enduring that non-belief is the price that you pay if you want to alter the status quo. So innovation is all about everyone agreeing with you, but much later. Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos talks about it in a peer-to-peer conversation with David Rubenstein. David asked Ted, now sometimes in the business world, particularly in the technology world, somebody might come up with a great idea and they have an advance on somebody for maybe 2 years or so. And then everybody figures out what they should be doing and they catch up, and sometimes they have more resources. So they beat the original person who came up with the concept. So were you worried that companies like Disney would figure out streaming and then wipe you out, or were you never worried about it? And Ted replies, no, I've always worried about it. The only thing we couldn't believe it that it took them so long, like 12 years, to catch up with it. What a powerful example to illustrate the nature of innovation. Now, where at work would you use this? Let's say you and your product development team are seeking budgets for a new development and are faced with resistance. You could share this example to illustrate that your idea needs time and support. You could also share this example and suggest, let's do a pilot and track how it goes as a way to get the buy. If you like this video, there are 100+ videos on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to get that update every time a new video is uploaded. And I'll see you next week.